So I hope everyone's having a really good day, and on today's video I want to talk about something what I classify as comparisоning, and this is actually an extension of something called triangulation, which is a covert power tactic used by a narcissist in a relationship. So the way this actually comes out is usually in kind of an interpersonal interaction with their partner, which you might have experienced yourself if you've been with a narcissist. And what ends up happening is they will idolize a previous lover and they will start comparing you to that lover. So what this creates is it actually starts embedding and implanting insecurities in you. That they actually think there's something wrong with you. And they make you believe that you are flawed, defective, and this is actually the root cause of toxic shame, which is that the core belief is there's something wrong with me. It's that pervasive feeling of inadequacy, that you think there's something wrong, you're worthless, you're always in the wrong, stuff like this. So as a byproduct of triangulation, always comparing you to their previous lover, who actually when they broke up with that person completely demolished them and their reputation, and the narcissist will actually kind of reformulate a narrative which makes them seem like they're the victim, that the narcissist is actually the innocent one in the situation. But what ends up happening is now they re-idolize that partner when they're in a relationship as a kind of jealousy plot line. They'll use it as a way to trigger insecurity, fear, toxic shame, guilt, and what the actual extension of that is to the victim, the real victim, the actual codependent or the empath, is that they will actually start comparing themselves to other people because they have been so traumatized in that narcissistic relationship that they'll actually start comparing themselves to outside sources. And really the only person you can really compare yourself is you against yourself, you versus you versus your previous progress, you versus what you've done the day before, where you were last week, previous month, previous year. Now, you shouldn't be really comparing yourself to other people. The reason being is that every human entity is a kind of unrepeatable, unique person, and their level of uniqueness, it won't match yours by default. We all have our own unique fingerprint. So the idea here is that they get you in this very toxic cycle of comparing yourself to like the outside world, and you start to gain what is called a very extreme external locus of control, that you're governed by your environment. You're not governed by yourself anymore. You're not making yourself your own mental point of origin. So you're not initiating from your core self anymore. So a way to cut this off and to short circuit is, what I recommend is probably grieving. So writing things down, angering, really passively fully feeling your feelings, and also actually mastering your environment. So what I mean by that is that you actually start to go through the process of elimination and actually try and get these narcissistic soul vampires out of your life, because they are toxic. They can't really bring anyone any value. They need a host to survive. They're like a parasite. So what I recommend is getting them out of your life. If you're in a relationship one, you need to get out of it. There's nothing healthy that can come from that. The problem is, this is another side tangent, but the problem is with a lot of narcissists, we are, especially females are very hardwired to be attracted to social dominance. So what ends up happening is, because the narcissist is like, whoa, fucking hell, Jesus, this guy is like, this is like a lion in a kingdom, and he is like this, all-encompassing predator, physically dominant, confident, on his path kind of thing, and he's just like owning his space. He tells people where to get off, he's assertive. But the problem is, because they have very little empathy, they can't have true intimacy. But a woman is very naturally hardwired to be attracted towards social dominance. So this is where our biology overrides our own kind of moral principles sometimes, and we have to kind of be very, very strong mentally so we don't get in relationships with people like this. Typically women, biologically are wired to go up social dominance hierarchies, whereas men typically go down dominance hierarchies. But again, if you're a guy who's been raised by narcissistic people, that will feel familiar to you. The word familiarity stems from the word family. So whatever your family system, your family of origin is like, you will find solace with people who resemble them qualities, because you're fitting kind of whatever that social structure was like, so you can play a role. Bit of a side tangent, but that is comparisоning, that is triangulation. Just be very careful, be very aware of it. Really these videos are just to raise the consciousness of these covert power tactics, these kind of forms of manipulation, so you can have greater social intelligence, you can have a better social life, healthier relationships, and stronger self-esteem. So hope you guys have enjoyed that video. I'm going to leave it there. Have a good day. If you enjoyed the video, share it with your friends, like the video, subscribe to the page. Thanks very much. See you soon.